So blended learning is different from the modular programs, which is the other format that we do, in the sense that students, generally speaking, have the choice for the lectures during the year to attend lectures from their home or from their office, or to come physically to their campus to attend classes. Usually at the beginning of the blended program, all the students will come to us, to the USB's campus, for the orientation week. During that week, you get to meet the other people that will be with you in your class. And then for the rest of the year, once a week for 4 hours, in the evenings, you will attend classes synchronously. In other words, you get to debate with your fellow students and with a faculty member in class. USB has always been known for rigorous degrees and applied content that is curated by experts in their field. What's happened over the last 3 years is that USB has also become experts in delivery. We've been ahead of the curve in many respects in building capacity, both in our faculty, but also in the facilities that we have to facilitate online and blended type of conversations. So I believe in many respects we are ahead of many other business schools in the rest of the world. So blended classes are quite different to traditional lectures in the sense that when you're teaching with Zoom, you have the ability to break students away into breakaway rooms, to use polls, etc. So in some way, and paradoxically, blended classes are more interactive than what physical classes are typically. What also makes blended classes different is that with breakaway rooms, you can send people into breakaways for 10 minutes and they come back and you can have a conversation about that. And every breakaway can be with a different group. So unlike traditional classes where people sit in a certain position, they will be interacting with the same people for the rest of the year. In a blended classroom environment, you can in every class, even for every discussion, be with a different person, and that makes it a much more rich experience and interacting with different people. There are two big constraints that blended learning overcomes. The first one is a geographical constraint. So someone who's in Dubai that would like to do a degree with Stellenbosch University now has the ability to do a degree once a week. They can dial in from the comfort of their office in Dubai or in Nairobi or in Lagos. And that's freedom that we've never had before the type of technologies that we have today. So that also allows us to offer niche degrees because typically if you feel passionate about a certain topic, it would be very hard for a university to create a critical mass of people interested in that topic around the campus. What online learning or blended learning allows us to do is to collect a tribe of people interested in specific topics and bring them into a classroom for conversations that they're really interested in. The second constraint is for people with time constraints. In today's work, it's all more volatile and urgent, and lots of people don't have the comfort of taking a week of their year or even 4 weeks of their year that modular requires to take off from work. Sometimes they don't have that kind of study leave available from the company. So blended learning allows you much more freedom with your time. Once a week, it's 4 hours in the evening, so you don't have time away from your family either. And then we will write the tests on Monday evenings, you've got tutorials on some evenings, but you've got much more freedom. An additional benefit of the blended classes is that they are recorded. So even if you are late for your class, you are still able to watch the recordings afterwards. And what the benefit of that is, it's the conversation that your peer had, so you have a little bit more interest than the traditional offline classes where you just watch a talking head for 20 minutes. In addition to addressing geographical constraints and time constraints, there's also a reduction in the opportunity cost of traditional, let's say, modular programs. So apart from the fact that you're not losing the time that you would be at the office, there's also the expenses of traveling and accommodation for students that have to travel to the USB's campus. So that opportunity cost is reduced as well. The people that should attend a blended program are people that want the same rigorous content as what you would have in a in-class environment, but who want the freedom of attending classes from home while still being able to co-create the learning with fellow students. I think the benefit of the blended classroom is that you can choose whether you would like to attend classes from the comfort of your home. And for people with small children, for instance, you can be at home with your child on your lap and still be able to interact with the rest of your class. For students that prefer to be in a class environment and they want to interact with the lecturer, that opportunity is still there. When we do breakaway rooms in the classroom, with students in the classroom as well, we still use Zoom technology, so those students can go into a breakaway room in the classroom and just pop back into the physical class right after that. So I guess the answer is yes and no. It is different because you can choose whether you want to be comfortable at home or you want to be sitting in a class and have the face-to-face conversation, or the answer could be no, in the sense that it is still the same because you have the same rigorous content, the same interaction with your fellow students. I certainly do see blended learning become more prevalent. I think the model of synchronous learning, in other words, physically being in a class, even if it's through a virtual medium, has got many benefits. What we've seen in the performance of students is that students perform as well, and in some respects people perform even better than what they do in physical classes. Another additional benefit that makes this kind of blended learning more attractive is that we have the ability to attract people into the classroom that otherwise we may not have had the opportunity. For instance, we can now pull a CEO of a company into a classroom for 10 minutes from his office in Johannesburg, and he can be fully interactive with the group. Students can be, like I said earlier, 2 meters away from the CEO and ask him a question. And that kind of experience is not easy to emulate in a physical classroom. So I certainly see that the benefits of online learning and blended learning will make it more popular into the future. I think our experience during the pandemic has also meant that people are a lot more comfortable with this medium and realize that, in fact, the experience can be as good online as it can be in a physical classroom. In addition to tribes coming into the classroom of like-minded people, the blended classroom also allows us the ability to pull people of different backgrounds, different cultures, different experiences into the class to share and co-create the content and reflect on the same case studies but in different perspectives. And that's a very valuable thing that blended allows us to do. We can have someone from North America, someone from India, and someone from Nairobi having a very robust conversation about political economy, etc.